Pisces, there was a path that you were supposed to be on, and then somehow you got blown off that path. It happened over the last couple of years. Now you're going to restore that path. You're going to get back on that path. And I think it starts on the 27th of August. This is your September 2026 reading, but we do have that full moon eclipse in Pisces, okay? So it kind of starts at the end of August, but then it's going to take the rest of this year to flourish. I like it. It's like, as Pisceans, and let me know in the comments, right? Because I'd be really, really interested to know. And let me know if you're a February or a March, because I think it makes a difference. How good are you at reading a map? Because I am awful. I'm a February Pisces. I am terrible at reading a map. And also being Pisceans, it's not like you have a path and you stick to that path and it's not as linear, is it? It's more of a kind of, if you try to map a Piscean path, at some point it's going to look like a river, and at another point it's going to look like a wave, and at other points, you're like, if I said to you, draw it, it would look like a scribble. But if you showed it to another Pisces, they'd know what you meant. So it's not like, oh, you know, you just took a wrong turn or you lost your way. For a Pisces, it's probably something to do with confidence, losing confidence, either because of somebody else or society or just your own internal two fish going in different directions. And one of them at times can be really critical of the dreamy fish. Okay, you've got your dreamy fish, which is my favourite fish. And then you've got your sensible fish. Sometimes sensible fish knocks dreamy fish off the wiggly path. And I think that's what's happened. And I think this is like a mad kind of reset. It's messy. Yes, Pisces is messy. Look at my hair. This kitchen, you can only see the bit that isn't messy. And even that's messy. I mean, look at the, yeah. It's natural. But remember, Pisces, and I think this is the most important thing about being a Pisces. And let me know if you agree, because it's nice to talk fin to fin. I feel like out of mess comes greatness with a Pisces. Out of mess comes greatness. And this is greatness. It's your talent, it's your purpose, it's your North Star. You've been waylaid, you've taken a different circuit, or maybe it was just because we also have the Four of Pentacles coming in. And this can literally be, you know, money or something material that got in the way. It can be something that is just, you know, let's say this is something to do with your career trajectory, to do with your destiny, and someone got ill, you needed to pay for them, or your rent got hiked, you needed to pay for it. So you carried on doing something that maybe you didn't like, that maybe wasn't ideal, because you knew it wasn't the time to take the risk. And that happens, that's life. But the universe is calling you back now. It's like unfinished business. Unfinished business. I winked. I'm sorry about that. It happens. I'm like a 1980s DJ. A little bit of a careless whisper for the lovers out there. Anyway, I'll stop channeling my... It's never far away, but I'll stop channeling my 80s DJ. Look! Pisces. By the way, these cards are very, very Pisces. I bought them with you in mind, because they're all mermaids and oceans and whatnot, and they're called Enchanted Shores because everybody always asks me. And for us Pisceans, they're perfect. Now, we are associated with the moon because it's a little bit an angle, not literally, my geography is awful, as we discussed hitherto, but the moon is borrowed light. It's feminine energy. It's kind of acted upon energy rather than generating its own energy. The sun, yee-haw, buckle up. This is not our normal thing. This is stepping into the light, stepping out of the shadows, stepping into the light. Because look, and I'm going to write it down, the last 2 years held you back. And not anymore. Okay? Now is your time to shine. Oh, I like that. Now, with Pisces, just writing that down because I will forget. Are you forgetful? I'm also forgetful. I always put my keys in the fridge and all sorts of stuff. Pisces is not a natural in the spotlight person. I'm not saying that, you know, everybody likes a bit of attention, but Pisces is a little bit more backstage or sort of facilitating, not standing in the direct sunlight. Now, we also have, along with this, justice. I like this. Maybe you can't stand all the way in the light. Maybe you can't be the complete main character energy. Maybe when you get back onto the path, it's not the same. It's not going to lead to the same place as it did last time. That doesn't matter because there's a rebalancing. And where you were stuck in the shadows, you now come into the light, even if it's a bit of light, you know, even if it's, and I do love a dim switch. I've got a dim switch in here, and wherever I can have, Pisces rules lighting, okay? So I've had a coffee, by the way, so I'm a little bit all over the place. Pisces rules lighting because of Neptune. And I have a theory, again, that Pisces loves lighting, low lighting, getting the lighting right, and having a dim switch, because at night, I think it really calms the Piscean nervous system to have lower light and to have orange light or red light. Let me know, okay? And by the way, if this is really tooting your horn, do give it a hype. Hype button hidden. If you go to comments and go left, it might be there, it might not. Okay, so you're back on the road again. There is unfinished business. You're getting back into alignment. It's not quite as easy as it sounds. It's not as clean as it sounds because it's messy. And because the rest of 2026 for all signs, but particularly for us Pisces, because of the eclipse, the lunar eclipse that we have or had, depending on when this video goes out, probably at the same time, might even put it out on the eclipse. Woohoo! Anyway, it rebalances it, it restarts it, it defibrillates it, it jumps the battery, whatever you want to call it. And then we get the Four of Cups and you slightly lose your nerve again. So expect that sometime before the year is through, you'll have a wobble and you will lose your nerve. What's that one? Okay. And then you're really going to have to dig deep. Again, Seven of Wands is Mars in Leo. This is main character energy back again. Standing up for yourself. Laying down a boundary, which is not something we're very good at or comfortable with. I get it. And it's kind of, normally I would say, you know, this is the hill you die on. But at this point, for Pisces, it's a wave. So it's like, how can you kind of call a hill a wave? I suppose it's like surfing a particularly difficult wave. You're not going to let it beat you. You won't let this beat you, whatever it is. It could be disappointment. It could be doubt. It could be someone else's criticism. It could be all manner of whatever the forces are. But you stay steady. You know, that sea is pretty choppy and she's not having it, because I'll tell you why as well, what I just had as like a channeled message. as a Pisces, you've got a freaking tail. Oh, I just smacked myself in the face with a tarot card then. You can swim through it. The muggles can't because they've got legs. Ha ha. Oh, I just pirated. Sorry about that. Winking and pirating. Excellent. Oh my God. Right. Let's deal with this man bag situation that we have. And this takes us into love and relationships. We are at a time of the evening where we're moving into the erection section. Move closer. That's love and relationships that we're looking at. Oof, oof. And when we do that, we'll look at this guy coming out of the surf with his man bag. We've had some debate with the other signs. I think I might have had some debate with you about it before. Anyway, before we get to that, we've got to deal with this. Judgment. What tried to stop you before will try to stop you again. This time you must not let it win. I'm going to be straight with you. It could stop you again. It could, if you let it. This is not, it is magical, but it's not a given. You could still be knocked off this path again if you allow it. But frankly, you've been there before. So don't let it fool you twice, okay? This time, stick with it. This time, sun energy, divine masculine energy. Pisces, you are the mermaids, the queens of feminine energy, okay? You are feminine energy-tastic. Sometimes you need to employ the masculine energy, the discipline. Do it, okay? Because distractions will come calling, criticism will come calling. Old things, old wounds, old stuff will come calling to distract you. And you know what? Some of you, and I include myself in this because Pisces can be really bad at self-sabotaging. Am I right? Let me know in the comments, but I know I'm right. We do it to ourselves. And I don't know why. This is actually a Piscean card, Judgment, as well. So you may not, if someone else is doing it to you, if someone else is sabotaging your path or whatever, it's easier to spot than when you're doing it to yourself. If you're doing it to yourself, yeah, it's like the old familiar. You're going to have to let the gut feeling fish win and sniff it out, okay? And listen to your intuition if you feel like you are doing that to yourself, okay? 5 of Swords, Venus in Aquarius. Again, strategizing, overthinking. Pisceans do not benefit from a massive amount of strategizing, planning, overthinking. One of your fish can do it at most, but the other one of intuition must balance it. You are a dual sign. Both of them working together and never quite getting on is good. It creates energy. But don't let the dictatorial health and safety fish win, okay? Overthinking kills passion, creativity, it kills your freedom, it kills that. Swing. Okay. The man bag situation, we've got the Knight of Cups. I mean, come on. Full moon, strolling out of the surf, possibly wearing, I don't know, they're not dungarees. I just needed to check because I've got feelings about that, but I don't need to get into it because he's not wearing them, so fine. We can assume he's got a good pair of weather-beaten jeans. Oh, yes. Here he is, weather-beaten jeans, and in true Mr. Darcy style, coming out with the old white shirt on, yee-haw. Can we let the man bag pass? Or is it rope or a kind of some kind of fish catcher thing. If it's utilitarian, it gets my vote. If it's a man bag, get back in the sea. Anyway, the important thing is that the Knight of Cups is appearing. Appearing. Love. Let's have a look what it means. Let's have a look. Yum, what's coming in. Love, relationships, and everything in between. Okay, itchy nose, and I'm going to take one of these as well. First card, we get the Ace of Wands. This is attraction, it's passion, it's fire. You can see from this kind of sunlight. And again, it might be as well that when you step back into this masculine energy, that you kind of, you sort of light your own fire, and along the way that makes you more sort of fiery, magnetic. I know you're a water sign. Ooh, hello. But all the same, you can sometimes do that to yourself. I love this. Okay, we'll look at those in a sec. Now, we also have the Five of Cups, and we need to pay attention when we have the Five of Cups. There is something in relationship that I would say that you've lost. And I'm going to take a shadow card for it, because I'm not sure if it needs to just remain lost. Whenever I see, oh yeah, some of you, it could be a fire sign person, or a person that you had a very, what word can I use? Connection with, okay? Because the shadow cards I get are the Ten of Wands with the Knight of Wands. I know. He's not got a man bag, has he? Just saying. When I see the shells on these, it's also a kind of a 5D connection, and it's also a kind of, I'm still talking to you via telepathy. We're speaking via shells. It's a weird thing, but I get it from like you being on one beach and they're on another beach, and almost like that sort of when you listen into a shell and you think you can hear the sea, you know, that kind of thing. It's weird, but life's weird. Pisces is weird. What can I say? Go with the weird, follow the weird, and you won't go wrong. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. So there's change. Changing things up. It's Jupiter in Capricorn. Jupiter, as we know, the planet of expansion, and Capricorn is the sign of containment and organization. And, you know, where does this fit? Where does that fit? Fitting things together, but also taking them apart, then fitting them together again. You're going to be examining how your relationships function, not just with romantic relationships either, but your relationships with others, you know, co-workers, friends, family. We get happy hearth, which is really bloody nice for a Pisces, isn't it? Especially as we're kind of coming into autumn. Yes, one of my favorite seasons. So there's something here, and it doesn't even need to be your own home, but it's like a feeling of belonging, okay? And this is funny because you've got like belonging, but you've also got expanding horizon, being somewhere different, expanding relationships, expanding how you see relationships. Pisces is a sign of unlimited expansion. And it's freedom as well. When you have freedom and unlimited expansion, things can really swing, go somewhere. Love that you get this. And then we get the Star. Very much like this when it comes to your relationships. It's not actually about like changing anything you're doing or tinkering with something or fine tuning. It's just about coming into alignment with this North Star. It's just about realizing that you've got off a path and then getting on to another one or the same one. okay? And of course, they can be another one and the same one at the same time, because Pisces can ride two horses with one ass. Okay, so there's something here about freedom. There's something here about passion. There's something here about losing something. And what the word admitting it is coming in, but I don't mean admitting it as in you've been lying to yourself. I mean admitting it as in letting it in, letting whatever that feeling is. If you need to feel something about loss, let it in, let it be felt. And then also having good boundaries. 9 of Pentacles. There's a lot going on in love and relationships. Yeah. There's transformation. And for some of you, what I'm really getting here is there is a missing person. There's a missing person. Now, is that, you know, that you're single and there's a missing person, or is somebody is not showing up here? Yeah. Okay. Itchy nose. We get the Death card. Transformation that runs into Scorpio season, which is later this year in October. Sort of second half of October, but that is a hop, skip and a jump away. And also the way things are going with all of the signs, the rest of 2026 is like a mad sort out training ground for 2027, and there are a lot of eclipses in 2027 and 2 of them are in February. Okay, so transformation, letting what has died, I think, or the loss, letting that, either letting it go or letting it speak is what I'm getting. But we also get the 9 of Wands, which is boundaries. Some of you really are going to find yourself rising up and setting a boundary that you would never have set before. You're going to be able to do that, which is very difficult for a Pisces. And it changes the outcome of a relationship. We have the Lovers, okay? And when you get the Lovers, it means there's a choice, there's a change. We don't know exactly what it is yet. It could be that you decide to let it completely go. It could be that you decide to let it to completely live. Ace of Wands. You jump in, you jump on, giddy up, let's go. Or you let it jog off. Look at you here with the heart. I mean, isn't this gorgeous? Pisces, never ever forget that that's who you are. That's your energy. The High Priestess is always between these 2 pillars. So there's something here about being true to yourself, coming into alignment with yourself, letting this transformation happen, finding the path that you got knocked off 2 years ago. For some of you, it's even longer than that. It's like 5 years. And then letting something live or die, finding your boundaries, knowing who you are. Does this person join you on this path? If they don't, you're not leaving that path again. So are they with you or are they not with you? Okay, are they joining you on the path or are they not? There's a lot to unpack here, okay? I'm going to do the extended love reading for Pisces and we're going to look at that. When you stand up, when you have your boundaries, do they join you on that path? Where does it lead? Okay, what happens next? I'm smacking the table. Woof. I like it. It's unknown, but it's also exciting. It's empowering for you, Pisces. Fin to fin. I'm going to link it below. I will see you there in a minute. I may have a caffeinated beverage. Namaste.